On January 3rd, 2026, according to headlines, leaks, group chats, and that one uncle who definitely has sources, the United States allegedly launched something called Operation Absolute Resolve. Explosions, Caracas, stealth jets, cyber attacks, and somehow a geopolitical boss fight, where American weapons apparently defeated Chinese weapons, Russian weapons, logic, nuance, and the concept of waiting for verified information, which raises a question. Did this actually happen the way the internet says it did? And if not, why does everyone feel extremely confident that it did? Here's the version that went viral. The U.S. launches a lightning-fast strike in Venezuela. Airstrikes around Caracas. High-tech jets screaming politely through radar systems. Special Forces helicopters appear like jump scares. And somehow, cue dramatic music, Nicolas Maduro and his wife are captured and flown away like a Netflix season finale. U.S. officials, in this version, describe the mission as targeting narco-terrorism networks. The internet describes it as America flexing its tech muscles. And social media immediately upgrades it to a U.S. weapons and just humiliated Chinese weapons, which slowed down. That escalated fast. Once the story hits, the weapons list shows up like Pokemon cards. Stealth fighters? Obviously. F-22s, F-35s, fifth-generation jets, designed to sneak, strike, and leave before radar finishes its coffee. Long-range bombers? Sure. B-1s, because nothing says subtle message, like a plane designed during the Cold War that still refuses to retire. Drones everywhere, ISR aircraft, electronic warfare planes. Basically eyes, ears, Wi-Fi jammers, and vibes. Special ops helicopters, Blackhawks, and Chinooks from the Night Stalkers. If you hear rotor blades at night, congratulations, you're in a documentary. Cruise missiles. Precision guided. Launched from very far away by people wearing very calm expressions. And then, the modern stuff. Cyber operations. Electronic warfare. Turning off lights, radios, and confidence without firing a bullet. All real categories of military tech. All used by the U.S. before. But here's where the story takes a turn. Wait, where did China get involved? Venezuela has bought military equipment from China. That part is true. Things like Chinese armored vehicles used by internal security, surveillance radars, older naval missiles, light equipment, and support systems. But here's the important part nobody puts in the headline. Those were not Venezuela's main defensive systems. The heavy hitters were mostly Russian-made, especially long-range air defense systems. But here's the important part nobody puts in the headline. Those were not Venezuela's main defensive systems. The heavy hitters were mostly Russian-made, especially long-range air defense systems. Chinese equipment was adjacent. Not central, not the star of the show. So when people say, U.S. weapons defeated Chinese weapons, what they really mean is U.S. forces operated near a country that owns some Chinese gear. That's not a duel. That's a coincidence with opinions. So why did the internet run with it? Because humans love proxy wars they can understand. People mentally convert complex reality into U.S. versus China, iPhone versus Android, My team versus your team. Once that framing clicks, everything becomes proof. Then confirmation bias kicks in. Some people want U.S. tech to look unbeatable. Some want Chinese exports to look bad. Some want to say China was never truly tested. Some want to say the U.S. cheated with cyber warfare. Everyone grabs the slice that supports their worldview. And social media algorithms go, "Wow, you're emotional. Here's more. How modern warfare actually works." Here's the part TikTok hates. Modern warfare is not. Missile versus missile, radar versus radar, jet versus jet. It's intelligence, cyber disruption, electronic warfare, training, timing, doctrine, coordination, and surprise. When a defense system fails, it doesn't mean it's bad hardware. It could mean it wasn't fully integrated. Operators weren't trained. Command was disrupted. It was bypassed, or it was never active. A Ferrari without fuel is still a Ferrari. It just loses to a bicycle with momentum. Which brings us to Donald Trump. Trump talked about peace, even floated the idea of a Nobel Peace Prize. So why would he support strikes? Because in his worldview, peace didn't mean no force. It meant no long wars. Short strikes, maximum pressure, unpredictability as deterrence. To him, force wasn't the opposite of peace. It was punctuation, a period that says, this sentence does not continue. Whether that logic prevents wars or causes new ones, history usually decides later. So the rumor wasn't really about Chinese weapons, or U.S. weapons, or even Venezuela. It was about how modern societies process uncertainty under rivalry pressure. And next time someone says, X country's weapons were proven inferior, ask one thing. Did they explain who used it, how it was integrated, and under what conditions? If not, congratulations. You've just witnessed narrative gravity. Like, commend, share, and subscribe. Before the internet launches another war using vibes and confidence alone.